Assalamu alaikum, Ustaz. First, I apologize if my question sounds a bit liberal, as it comes from my younger sibling who has some questions. My sibling, who is not yet Muslim but is studying Islam, wonders, what is the purpose behind Allah creating the world, humanity, and everything within it? As their older sibling, I have tried explaining that the Quran states humans were created to worship, but they still ask, why were we created just for worship? They wonder why Allah would create people if He knew some would end up in hell. Was creation just to punish people? I attempted to reason that perhaps life is a test for the faithful. However, maintaining a life free from sin and remaining steadfast in prayer is difficult. For instance, even starting with regular prayer is challenging for them as a new seeker in Islam, and it's hard to resist desires and negative influences. This could be seen as frustration rather than just a question. My sibling feels that both striving for heaven and avoiding hell are difficult. This leads them to question, why was I created? So, I ask for your guidance, Ustaz.
Before I answer, since this is a recording, I just want to briefly touch on a current issue in the schools of Al-Sha'ari and Maturidi. It is not allowed to question Allah on why Allah created this, but not that. God's actions are not subject to any causal explanation. This is understood as the absence of an illah. His deeds are without reason simply because He is God. Let me address a relevant concept. In some Islamic teachings, it is said that we should not question why Allah created certain things, as it is beyond our capacity to understand His wisdom. No one can question God. God is God. You cannot ask, God, why did you that? Allah promises in the Quran, do you think we created you in vain? No one can question God. He is the Creator, and everything is done for a reason, even if it's beyond our understanding. Therefore, life has meaning, and nothing created by Allah is without purpose, even if we sometimes fail to understand it. We may also not comprehend the purpose behind certain events, but that does not mean they lack purpose. I'll quote you a few examples from great writers. There are things that happened in our lives that leaves us feeling unsatisfied because we can't figure out why. Consider a small child aged 1 or 2 were taken to the doctor. The doctor then gave him or her an injection. To the child, he or she might think that the doctor is causing harm by giving him or her an injection, but as they grow up, they'll understand that the doctor's actions were actually for their own benefit. He accused the doctor of being bad because he did not know the true cause. In life, there are two sides of life. As you mentioned, life is hard. Humans have two sides in life. There are aspects of our lives that are beyond our choice. We cannot choose, such as our race, Malay, Chinese, Indians, height or appearance, handsome and not so. We are not accountable for these. If, let's say, we're considered unattractive or not beautiful, and people make fun of us, we'll be rewarded for our patience. Being born into poverty isn't our choice, but the hardships we face can bring us blessings. For the things we can't control, there's a divine accounting for us. When we drive carefully and follow the rules, but someone else causes an accident, we're rewarded for our patience. If our parent divorced, it's a painful experience that's not our fault. But we can find comfort in knowing that Allah has a plan. Allah sees all and will reward us for our trials, as long as we accept them with grace. However, we are responsible for the choices within our control, such as choosing to do good or evil, to believe or not to believe. Only for these choices will we be judged by Allah in the hereafter. He will not ask, "Why are you a Chinese?" or "Why are you a Malay?" Cause that's in his knowledge. He will not ask, "Why are you always ill?" But he will be questioning you if you smoke and got sick. Allah is fair and just. In the end, we are accountable only for what we have control over, and Allah will not hold us responsible for things we could not choose. There are also rewards for the hardships we endure in life, especially those beyond our control, as Allah takes everything into account. In this world, we must focus on the aspects within our control, such as our actions and decisions. These are the choices that matter.